Hello everyone, Chris here again, and today we're going to be taking a look at the upgrade parts that I have purchased for the Tech Kimber, and also some of the accessories and grips and whatnot that I have bought for this gun. So if you watched my previous video, you found out which parts on this gun are steel and which are not. I'll be showing you the Nova parts in a second here. First though, I'd like to show you the different grips that I bought for this gun. Let's see if I can get rid of some of the glare there. Nope. Let me just take them out of the packaging so you get rid of the glare there. Line these up so you can take a look. Let's see. So what I've bought is these are all, they're called operator grips, and it's a certain type of real steel grip. These are all airsoft replicas. These ones are, I'm not sure what color these are supposed to be, dark earth maybe. Anyway, these were a cheaper brand. They're completely ABS plastic, really low quality material. There's also some mold marks right there. So I just bought these to have a couple of different colors because the white grips I definitely don't like, and changing out the grips is the fastest and easiest way to change the look of the pistol. So then we have the tan Operators 2 grips, and the difference between the regular ones and these Operators 2 is the indentation there for easier access to the magazine release. You also get a MEU style magazine bumper for the Tokyo Marui gas magazines, nothing that I can use on the KJ. And you also get a set of what they call Slex screws, and by looking at them, it's a combination between hex and straight screws. So these are Ready Fighter Operators grips, and these are some type of polymer. You can hear from the sound here that these are solid, so I like those. And then I have the Operator ones without the indentation, also Ready Fighter polymer grips, and with those I got the silver hex screws. And finally I bought a pair of real wood rosewood Hogue grips, and these are real wood, so these were fairly expensive. I paid I don't know what it could be in dollars, but probably $65–70 with the conversion rates that's going currently. So I'm gonna put these on just to show you, because those are the ones that make the gun look the nicest, but the other ones are fine too. I really like the texture of these Operator grips. I mean, they just feel great in the hand. I guess the problem with the black arrow grips is black on a black gun kind of doesn't stand out. The dark earth ones, plastic's kind of so-so. So I guess the tans are the ones that I prefer because of the material. The problem I have with the Hogue rosewood grips is probably only affecting 0.01% of the population, but I'm kind of hypersensitive to scents and smells, and these give off your typical wood scent and smell. You know, if you if you've ever used an electrical sander to sand down wood, the smell that you get from burnt wood dust in the air, that's the kind of smell that these give off. Very faint, but it kind of bothers me, and when I hold them it gets in my hands, and so I'm not sure if I'm going to have these on as my main grips, but for display they're absolutely beautiful. One problem or issue, or actually not issue, one stupid thing that I did was when I put them on, the holes for the what do you call those, the screw bushings in the frame was a bit of a tight fit. So this, being retarded like I am, I took the rubber end of a screwdriver and kind of tapped them on, thinking that was going to be fine, but I was wrong. So I have some very small marks on here on the grips. You can't tell unless you're like that close. Obviously my camera doesn't focus. Just for your information, I'm filming with this with a DSLR camera, and the beauty of this, those are that you can get very shallow depth of field and very artistic filmic like films. Obviously for these purposes it's not great because I get a very limited depth of field. If you can see my fingernail right there, and right about there it should be coming fairly sharp. So I apologize if any of these videos are out of focus. I'll try to improve that in the future. So I'll just put these aside, and I'm actually going to put on, Jesus, I have bought a lot of stuff for this gun. No, those are not the ones. Or are they? No? Ah, okay. I've put mixed up the screws here. Let's see. Sorry, I was mistaken earlier when I said the black grips do not come with the silver hex screws. These are Airsoft Surgeon silver hex screws that I bought. These actually came with the same ones that the tan did, the slicks screws that they call them. Let's just get that out of the way for now. Ugh, I hate these tiny bags. It's impossible to open. There we go, and I managed to rip the side. Yay! And let me just remove these ones. The horrible, ugly, white, shiny, I was going to say plastic, but they're not. I think these grips that are on here, they are wood that have been sanded down smoothly, painted white, pearl white, and then there's a layer or two of clear coat on top. Again, not impressed. I don't like those at all. So let's see. And then I have my hex screwdriver. Just a second here. I'm going to put on the Airsoft Surgeon screws. Come with the bushings, and I just do that to put those on to protect the, Jesus Christ. Oh, great. I have all these tiny parts falling all over. So, a couple of turns there, click, so you know that the threads are aligned. I've done that mistake too many times, where you pull in a screw and it's out of alignment, and then you fuck up the threads, which I do not want to do. So, there you go. Hogue Rosewood real steel grips. Except for the tight fit on the bushings, on the holes, go on just fine, no problem whatsoever, perfect fit. So on this gun you can use real steel grips. Actually, speaking of which, on the KJW, in the magazine well, to accommodate the CO2 bulb, the outer edge of the frame go out, so you can't put real steel grips on. What they did here with the Tech one is that they made the outside flush, and then it's just very, very thin wall right there. But certainly enough. Being steel and all, you know, it doesn't take much material to keep it intact. Man, I need to go out and exercise. I'm running out of breath here constantly. Maybe I talk too much. Maybe you just want to see the gun and want me to shut up. I don't know. You'll have to tell me in the comments. Get rid of that. Pop this on like so. Bushing, bushing. Up. And there are my screws. Whoop. Almost made a mistake there. And you know, I tighten these down, hand tight plus some. Doesn't have to be Superman tight or anything. Let's just push that out of the way. Okay, so there we go. Again, these look absolutely fantastic on the gun, but because of the smell and sensitivity that I have, I'm probably going to use one of the polymer grips for everyday use. I don't know if you can tell here from the video, but the slide going forward is fairly sluggish. Hup. Also, what I noticed was, if you watched a lot of real steel pistol videos, when they release the slide, they usually pull it back with the hand and push down on the, or let it just drop. And I found out why they do this when I got this. Since the slide is so heavy, if you're going to push down, it actually, you know, there's just too much force and tension going on there. So I prefer doing it like that. Okay, let's take a look at the Nova parts. If I can find them all here in my sea of upgrade parts. Hang on just a second. There's one. I think that is everything. So some of them have fallen out of there. Well, there we go. That's fucking great. Sorry for the language there. Let me just take them out of the packaging since we get so much glare from that. Oop. Don't want to lose those pins. Okay, I'll just put that pin aside for now so I don't lose it. Let's see, is this everything? We got yeah, I believe it is. Okay, so here is the original Tech Kimber Royal II full steel. And so I bought a couple of upgrade parts, Nova steel parts, that I'm going to fit onto this gun. First thing is the hammer, Nova Kimber style hammer. It's skeletonized. It's pretty much like the one that's on there, but it's steel and it's stainless on the sides and black on the edges. So that's going to go on there. Then I have the non-ambidextrous Kimber style safety. I'm not a big fan of the ambi safeties. I just think it gets in the way, and then you know, it's harder to fit on the gun, and they have poor fit and loose and all that, like this one. Probably a Nova steel Anti-safety would be better, but anyway, the actual real steel Royale II has a single side safety, so I'm going to put that in. Then I got this is actually not a Kimber style grip safety. The Kimber one, again, like I said in a previous video, it doesn't have this little bump down there, but I prefer this style. It just sits better in the hand against the inside there, so I went with that one. Not a big deal for me. I'm not trying to make this perfect representation of the real steel Kimber Royale, but the least excuse me, absolute minimum is that I want steel parts. So, and then I'll do a little customization however I like. Next up we have the Kimber mag release. I got the checkered one to match the rest of the items here. Did not come with the spring, so just for your information, that goes in there. Then I got the Nova aluminum trigger. This one's also aluminum, but the 3-hole trigger. I prefer the looks of this, and that's also the one that's on the real steel Kimber. So that goes on there. And then I forgot to mention, with the hammer you get the sear and the 2 pins, so that's up there as well. And then I actually went ahead and bought two mainspring housings. One of the things I like about the original 1911 is the feel of the grip in your hand. I mean, it just fits perfectly, and I think a lot of that is because of the curved, kind of extended mainspring housing. But when I got this and I was playing around with it, this one feels fine as well, the straight one. So I bought both, so I can change those out however I want. So this one kind of has a, I don't know what you should call it, like snake skin serrations diamond pattern, and this one is straight up checkered, like the real Kimber Royale is, with the exception of the lanyard loophole, which the real one does not have. So those are the Nova parts that I got, and then I'm going to show you the rest of the parts that I bought here. You've already seen the Airsoft Surgeon screws. I have the Airsoft Surgeon spring, and then I got the Airsoft Surgeon nozzle springs. What else do I have? And then I have a recoil spring buffer kit, also by Airsoft Surgeon. One thing that I get for all of my airsoft guns, gas bulwark guns, is a replacement spring kit. You know, there's nothing worse. You're sitting upgrading your gun, and boing, a spring goes flying off somewhere, and you can't find it, and your build just completely stops because you did not have a $4 spring replacement kit. So I got 2 of these actually. What else? Oh yeah, here's the sear and gas reset knocker by Airsoft Surgeon. Since I'm going to be putting in a non-ambi safety, I got the Garger hammer and sear pin, which are for non-ambi use. The ambi pins stick out a little more. And I got the Shooter's Design steel valve knocker. Let's see, is there anything else? Well, there's a lot of things, but none that, yeah, there's one of the screw packages. Okay, apologies for that. I ran out of time again on the camera. This is going to be a very, very long YouTube video. So where was I? Well, yeah, I was telling you I'm going to put up a summary of how much money I've put into this gun, all in all, total, with steel parts, just so you can get an idea of how much it actually is, because 850, if you want it full steel, is nowhere near. I think I'm just going to round up here. I think I put an extra 500 on just the steel parts alone. These Nova parts are not cheap. I think these are 55 each, 30 something, 25, 65 I believe, 55, 60 somewhere. So, you know, it's a lot of money. And then obviously the valve knockers and all of those things. So yeah, that's about it. I forgot, I just wanted to show you that, like I said before, the gun comes with the CO2 magazine. What I went ahead and did just for display purposes is I bought a KJW 1911 flush magazine base gas magazine and the KJW MEU, you know, it's a Wilson combat style magazine with the bumper, just so, you know, for display you don't have to have that gigantic bumper. Probably not going to be able to fire the gun with these things, but certainly looks nice. The Colt magazine drops freely, no problem. The MEU one, tighter fit. You have to, going in, not that bad, a little bit of force, but it does not drop freely. So, thanks for watching.